Hey Adventures, today is the Bridge 4 book tag. This tag was created by Megan over at Megan's Reading Revelations, and I thought that it sounded super fun, so I wanted to do it. Before we get started, I'm going to give a few rules that I have set upon myself that aren't in the original tag. These rules are nothing by Brandon Sanderson and nothing Lord of the Rings. I'll mention more about why nothing Lord of the Rings at the end of this video. So, first prompt. Rock, name a book that is inspired by food or has a constant theme involving food. So for this prompt, I chose Anything in the Redwall series by Brian Jacques, of course. This series, if you've read any of the books in this series, you will understand that food is a big part of these books. In almost every single one of the books, there's either a specific character that is a main character who is very, very into food, or else there are lots of characters, more side characters that are very into food. But there's always feasts, there's always things going on that involve food. The next prompt is Sigzil. Name a book that features a storyteller. For this, I chose The Story Peddler by Lindsay Franklin. This is a book about a girl who has a magical ability to weave stories while she's telling them. So of course she's a storyteller, so that's my answer to that one. Prompt 3 is Renarin. Name a book character that has to overcome a mental or physical challenge. For this, I chose Connor from A Monster Calls. If you have read this book, you will know what I'm talking about. Connor has, basically the story is about him overcoming this mental challenge. It's both mental and physical. The resolution is more, trying to figure out how to say it without spoilers. He does overcome the problem, but not in the way that you expect. So, well, maybe it is the way you expect, but yeah. Prompt 4 is Lopen. Name a book character that's not afraid to try new things. For this, I went with Aiden from Dawn of Wonder. This book is about Aiden, he's the main character, and his journey to become, it's basically a man who learns better story, and along the way, you know, he's learning all these new skills and trying new things, and so that there's some things that he's not willing to try, but for the most part, he tries just about anything he's asked to or wants to. The next prompt is Moash. Name a morally gray book character. For this, I chose Gale Hawthorne from the Hunger Games series. You don't so much notice it in the first book, but in book 2 and especially book 3, you really start to see how this character, while he may lean towards the light, he also has some very, very dark, morally questionable decisions that he makes and some things that he does that are less than perfect, less than good. Next prompt is Teft. Name a book character whose past still haunts him/her. For this, I chose Martin the Warrior, specifically from Mossflower. Because Mossflower is a direct sequel to Martin the Warrior, which is a book, of course. This one character, the main character basically, he has to deal with the events and the things that happened in Martin the Warrior inside of Mossflower, inside of this next book, Mossflower. So there's lots of things that he's dealing with and struggling with there. The next prompt is Sil. Name a non-human character or companion that constantly offers advice. The one that came to mind when I was writing this was the horse from A Horse and His Boy. This horse's name is Brihi Henny Brinny Hui Ha. And he's such a great character, he's such an interesting character, and he's a horse, so he meets that non-human requirement. And the last prompt is Kaladin. Name a book character that is more than he or she initially appears. There's so many answers to all these questions, really, but I chose Matt or Maddie from the Giver Quartet, specifically Gathering Blue and Messenger. In Gathering Blue, you meet Matt, and he's just a little kid who is very mischievous. But in Messenger, he's the main character of Messenger, and so you learn all this, you learn what he is and who he is, and there's so much more to him that you see and that you learn in Messenger, and I've stated that I don't love Messenger, but I think Maddie is still a very interesting character. So that is the end of the questions for this tag. If you want to do it, please do so and let us know if you do it down below. I'm not going to tag anybody because we've kind of stopped tagging people on this channel just because we end up tagging the same people over and over again. So the reason why at the beginning I said that I wasn't going to have any Lord of the Rings characters is because I have answers to every single one of these questions with just Lord of the Rings characters. So if you guys want to see a video that's very specifically Lord of the Rings or Tolkien's world that answers all of these questions with answers from Middle-earth, then let me know and I will do that one as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it if you did and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay warm.